Hello again, Warriors of Peace. And I am planning to put a pretty sparky title on this video, Warriors, Up Your Spiritual Discipline. And I hope that you will know the softness with which I am putting this call to action. I do understand that, there are enormous pressures upon everyone, and um, always, just bringing your best any day is definitely the way to go. But I wanted to put out a couple of ideas for how you can really up your spiritual discipline game. A couple of things that I have found myself working with because I am all of a sudden, as I've been taking on a leadership role, I'm all of a sudden feeling like, whoa, like I need to up my game. I need to be able to, come in a more grounded way and a more, for lack of a better word, spiritually enlightened way to help the people in this community. So, so the two things that I have found that I've been working with that I would like to just share with you in case they're things that you would like to work with. I know that many people here already have, quite an established spiritual discipline. And I also want to acknowledge I saw a post from somebody saying that they do not have a spiritual discipline or meditate and that they listen to things like this in order to tap into that, which is very cool as well. But for those of you who have an established spiritual discipline, my tip number one is that when you're doing your practices, apply yourself much more wholeheartedly and really believe in what you're doing. So I've been doing spiritual practices like basically since I was 6 or 7. And I came to realize that there's a certain jadedness that I was bringing to I do many spiritual practices every day, a jadedness where I wasn't taking it especially seriously. It was a bit more like, yeah, this is my usual thing that I do. And, I never get results. And, so I'm not expecting any results. Like there was this subtle attitude that I was bringing to my spiritual practices. And since this call to action emerged for providing some leadership here, I have found that I am suddenly feeling much more willing and desiring to open to the gifts and the benefits of the various spiritual practices that I'm doing. I am approaching them in a much more open minded way and really being in that place of receiving, asking for, whatever is needed for me to be able to be what I can be for help in this time. So anybody that's listening to this video is also needed. This is a time when you're especially needed. And so I'm encouraging you to allow any possible layers of jadedness or habitualness to fall away and embrace your practices every day in a way of really asking for what you are needing so that you are being empowered and supported and loved by whatever spiritual guides are involved with the practices. Really open up and receive at this time. And the second tip, I noticed that, as I have become sort of busier and I'm feeling more of a sense of demand with this kind of big shift that's happened in my life right now, I notice that my mind can get a bit like quick and kind of like pressing to think about things and don't forget this and that's kind of thing. And so the second tip is to be mindful of creating protected space for doing your practices. Firmly release all pressures and distracting thoughts so you can be fully present during your practice. So this is just about creating a firmer boundary of letting go of cares, worries, feelings of demands, and how important it is to let that go so that you can arrive into the time that's designated for your spiritual practice in a much more simple way And I think, it's important for us to have time where we can be simple and not be thinking like, strategic world initiatives. It's important for all of us to have time that is really held as sacred and can be simple, where you can engage your heart, engage your spirituality in a simple way. So the two tips again are, first of all, when you're doing your practice, apply yourself wholeheartedly. And secondly, really firmly create strong boundaried space for doing your spiritual practice at the times that you've designated for that. And I hope that you'll find it helpful, and would love if you would comment beneath this and maybe share your thoughts as well. I'm sure they will benefit everyone. Thank you.